Fabulous show.
Alaska.
I heartbeat Alaska.
It's heartbeat. Alaska.
Pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeannie's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Nicole Sauza Dahun Danaka Helde Delbita Sisney. Hello, Heartbeat Alaska.
Fairbanks is in the interior of Alaska, home to Athabascan people. Athabascan people were thought to be the first interior natives to cross the Bering Land Bridge, according to anthropologists. Today, Fairbanks, Alaska, is home to many people of all cultures.
I'm Alice Moses from Bethel, Alaska, Miss Kuskokwim, representing Southwestern Alaska region.
Hi, my name is Andrea Painter. I'm a King Island Nungasak Eskimo from Nome.
Fairbanks started as a gold mining town. Felix Pedro discovered gold in the interior of Alaska in 1898 while trying to reach Circle City and buy more supplies. He soon made his way to Circle City and then returned to the Tanana Valley to search for more gold. 3 years later, when Felix Pedro was again running short on supplies and about to travel north, Captain E.T. Barnett was steaming up the Tanana River. But because of shallow water, Barnett then diverted up the Chena River. Felix Pedro saw the smoke from the Chena River, and word of miners in the area convinced Captain Barnett to set up a trading post there. It didn't take long for the word of a gold strike to spread and for people to come rushing into a remote northern outpost that was to be named Fairbanks. Today, over a century later, Fairbanks has become Alaska's premier gold mining town. Fairbanks originally was a mining community. They still are, but this time they're mining a different type of gold. And this doesn't come from the ground, it comes from tourists.
From downtown Fairbanks.
Hi! I'm Jeannie Green. And what's your name?
Marilyn Urban,
Marilyn, where are you from?
Prescott Valley, Arizona.
Oh my goodness, and your name, sir?
Noel Urban.
Noel Urban. Is this your first time to Alaska?
No.
No, tell me about your trips.
Well, we flew into the airport here. This is the first time for us going across Canada and
Flew
up
a small
here.
plane.
Oh, a small plane,
He's the
okay.
pilot, I'm the navigator.
Oh, you
No,
flew
I'm the
in.
captain, she's the crew.
I gotcha.
You know how things are inside the cabin now, don't you?
Excellent. Yeah, I do. So, tell me about, why do you keep coming back to Alaska?
Friends, probably. And
Friends, people, huh?
right.
And the salmon's pretty good too.
Oh, the
salmon?
salmon's great.
Speaking of salmon, I haven't had lunch. It's time to eat. I'm not having salmon today, but I'm having sourdough hotcakes right here in Fairbanks, Alaska at Sam's Sourdough Cafe.
I'm Michelle Pierce. I'm from Nungasak, Alaska, and we are at WEIO, and we're getting ready to start WEIO and compete for a gold medal.
The 45th Annual World Eskimo Indian Olympic Games kicked off at the Carlson Center in Fairbanks this summer. Participants from villages all over Alaska descended onto the games in the spirit of healthy athletic competition. Youth and elders alike demonstrated their skills as competitors, craft makers, and storytellers.
flying in Alaska? Fly Frontier, the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Frontier is expanding again. They've added new routes to Nome, Kotzebue, and the surrounding villages. As you can see, Frontier is now really covering Alaska. So the next time you fly, try Frontier. Frontier offers quick, convenient check-in, low fares, and service direct to many of the villages. Frontier Flying Service is the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Make it your official airline too.
I'm waiting because I don't want to get a disease.
I have a future ahead of me, and I don't want to mess up my life.
If my husband asks me if he's a first, I want to say yes.
Yes. Because I respect myself. I have so much going for me. A child would only slow me down.
I'm trying to break a cycle.
Sex is a very special thing I only want to share with one person.
There are too many consequences. STDs.
The union between two people.
I would always regret it.
I'm protecting my heart.
Waiting doesn't make you less of a man.
I'm waiting because it's the most precious gift I can give.
As a diabetic, I would say that one of the most important things we need to learn is to go back to our traditional lifestyles. You know, we use oregon oil, seal oil, berries, and all the things that are really good. Being a diabetic, it's the best diet that a person can go on. Eat fruit and vegetables and eat your meat, so I think that's really important for us to go back to that beginning where we lived healthy lifestyles.
In the 1890s, pioneers carved a railway through the rugged mountains between Skagway and the Klondike. More than a century later, the White Pass and Yukon route still makes this legendary run. Along the way, life has gotten better for folks working on the railroad, thanks in part to Primera Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alaska, a health plan that's offered smart choices and quality coverage to the people of Alaska since before it was a state. Primera Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alaska. We're here. We're with you.
It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Oh, there we go, okay. Right over there, Charlie Stevens is coming from Minto to light the lamp.
I'm Miss Nikahoon, representing Nalado, Kaiko, Caltech, Galena. I'm the very first Miss Nikahoon. It's a brand new pageant that started this year.
My name is Shannon Ruth Missinuk Sanchez, and I'm representing Barrow as Miss Top of the World.
My name is Keely Paisak Kaviluk. I am a Inupiat Eskimo, originally from Barrow, Alaska, but I'll be representing my family from Koktovik. And my parka here is made by my Anna Eunice Sims of Koktovik. It's made out of mink, calfskin, wolverine, and then the sunshine ruff is made out of wolverine and wolf. And my mittens are wolf with opossum and beaver on the inside. And I learned how to braid this summer. And my mucklucks are made out of sealskin, uhurk bottoms, calfskin trim, and beaver trim. And my headband is made out of otter.
In 1961, there was a group of Alaska Natives that were wanting to preserve their traditional games, and Golden Days approached them in 1961.
Golden Days parade?
And they wanted to have a native part of the Golden Days celebration here in Fairbanks, Alaska. And so that kind of started World Eskimo Indian Olympics, is Golden Days' interest in supporting them.
Boats are really sleek.
At the first games, there were contestants from Barrow, Unalakleet, Tanana, Fort Yukon, Norvik, and Nome, which included 4 Eskimo dance groups, 2 Indian dance groups in competitions in hiking, blanket toss, seal skinning contests, and even a beauty contest. This gathering provided for healthy competition, entertainment, and laughter for Native people, and the different competitions have now grown into 50 events. The Games also helped spur other competitions like the Native Youth Olympics and Arctic Winter Sports.
These are the nations. Some have traveled far to join us this evening. So it's a privilege to watch them perform. So next few days you're going to see motion dances that were handed down through generations.
Before the World Eskimo Indian Olympics, gatherings had been carried on in small villages. Families and villagers would provide feasts, dances, games, and lodging. The gatherings helped to renew old friendships, create new ones, and foster the survival skills of Native people. Participants engaged in games of strength, endurance, balance, and agility. The games that were played reflected the preparedness one needs for survival in the Arctic. In this way, elders could teach the youth that they had to be tough to make it on their own, skilled not just in one area, but in all. The games left no part of the body untested. To understand what these villagers faced in harsh environments like Alaska, imagine yourself in a rural Alaskan village over 100 years ago, where the outside temperature is 60 degrees below zero and a gathering of friends and families is happening in a small hut. While the young men are demonstrating their strength, the whaling captains, or umialaks, are looking on with great interest. Competition like these allowed whaling captains to pick which of the young men they would incorporate into their next whaling and hunting crews. The fastest, the strongest, the one showing great balance, and the one with the most endurance to pain would be picked for future hunts. Successful hunting parties often had to pack out the game meat long distances, and this is also true of those who carried wood or ice. The four-man carry simulates the need for athletes to display great strength and test competitors' capability of carrying heavy loads as far as they can travel.
Hello, Heartbeat Alaska.
We're the
Hobson family.
From Barrow, Alaska. This is the World Eskimo Indian Olympics. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have everybody here.
There are two sides to a man. One side is the animal, nothing but selfish pleasure. You know, the kind of man that leaves women and children alone. But the other side, now that's honorable. It's a part of you that desires to do what's right and always do your best. When you make a decision to wait to have sex, you've chosen honor. You've chosen not to expose anyone to pregnancy or disease, because you're more than just sperm and child support. You're a man, not animal or honorable. What side controls you?
Look for Heartbeat Alaska, because we're looking out for you.
My grandpa, he heated his house with a Toyo stove, and I don't think there's nothing better. It's very easy to operate. You can program it where you can go to work for the day, come back, and have your Toyo kick on before you get home, start heating your house for you. It's very, very cold out there sometimes, and I know that this year in the Iditarod I'm going to be thinking about my Toyo stove.
The Toyo stove, heating Alaska for generations.
It's one of the most serious problems growing in Alaska's native population today. Diabetes can be deadly, but also avoided. It's a two-part process: eating healthy and staying active. The World Eskimo Indian Olympics just recently showed how exciting the staying active part can be. Traditional activities combined with a healthy diet, the keys to fighting diabetes.
Heartbeat wishes to thank Hagelin Aviation Services Incorporated for making our stories possible. We travel on Hagelin Aviation and we thank you for choosing them too. Hagelin Aviation has been serving Alaskans in the bush for over 20 years.
We fly Hagelins all the time.
Operating with 29 aircraft at 8 stations across Alaska and servicing over 100 destinations daily. Hagelin Aviation, your ticket to ride in rural Alaska.
Dad, Mom, I want you to be proud of me. Tell me what you expect when it comes to sex.
When it comes to sex, I need you to talk seriously with me, but I also need you to listen to me. I need you to help me with the words I need to say no.
No. I need an out.
There is just no way I can make you really understand how often sex comes up.
How much pressure is there. It's constant.
It's constant.
It's constant.
And most of all, you need to know that the pressure's on me already.
Flying in Alaska? Fly Frontier, the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Frontier is expanding again. They've added new routes to Nome, Kotzebue, and the surrounding villages. As you can see, Frontier is now really covering Alaska. So the next time you fly, try Frontier. Frontier offers quick, convenient check-in, low fares, and service direct to many of the villages. Frontier Flying Service is the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Make it your official airline too.
It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo.
Welcome one, welcome all.
The knuckle hop is a test of endurance to pain and strength. The object is to see how far one can go in a push-up position, with elbows bent and knuckles down. The only parts of the body touching the floor are knuckles and toes. From this position, the participant hops forward as far as possible, keeping the back straight and elbows bent. In this event, the contestant sits on the floor at a given line, and from this position, he then jumps as far as possible, lands on his feet, and maintains balance. The contestant is allowed to swing his arms back and forth to gain momentum for the leap forward. The practicality of this event comes from the quickness and balance one has to have while being out on the moving ice during breakup. In this event, two athletes face each other sitting on the ground with their feet pressed together and knees bent. A stick 1 inch in diameter is placed between them where their feet meet. Each athlete grabs the stick, then they attempt to pull the stick away from their opponent. The winner is the person who is either able to pull the opponent over or who can pull the stick out of the opponent's hands on 2 or 3 attempts. Each round, the athletes will alternate positioning of their hands. Strength is an important commodity to have when bringing a seal in from the hole in the ice. In this event, a game of stamina to pain, the victor demonstrates he can withstand pain, a trait sometimes needed to survive the harsh realities of the North. One of the most difficult competitions is the popular high kick. Competitors leap into the air and kick a ball. Kicks as high as a basketball's net are not uncommon. This game originated from the need of messengers of hunting or whaling crews to communicate long distances. The story has it that the messenger would kick high into the air and send the signal to others that a whale has been shot or that caribou are running near. The alerted villagers would then come to assist in the harvest or hunt. In the greased pole walk, competitors inch their way down a pine pole covered in grease to simulate the experience of walking around a wooden fish wheel. The Nungasak is done in the whaling communities in the spring if there has been a successful whaling season. It's been part of the whaling feast activity as long as people can remember. With a good coordinated effort on behalf of the pullers, the person being tossed can get as high as 30 feet in the air and lands on his or her feet without falling down. There are 2 schools of thought of the purpose of this sport. One is for the simple exhilaration it provides, and the other is for spotting game over the horizon. The judges look for balance, height, movements in the air. Sometimes you can see jumpers dancing or running in place, and all around form and grace.
It not only teaches you endurance, pain, how to learn from it in the old ways of life, but it also helps you as a person to push yourself to more limits and to see that you are able to succeed, and it'll teach you not to give up, and it's just a great life lesson to be involved in an activity like this.
Spectators at the event In addition to being able to see the games of endurance, strength, and agility, also get the chance to browse through the many traditional arts and crafts of vendors.
Back in '99 when I first made the berry pickers, nobody really knew what they were. Even a lot of natives didn't.
Bessie Meyer attended the World Eskimo Indian Olympics in Fairbanks to sell hand-painted berry pickers, a design that was crafted by her mother over 50 years ago.
And I acquired my mother's old berry picker, and you could see it in the picture over here. After I made some, when I was up in Nome, my husband and I, we'd go out in the evening to some berry grounds, and we'd probably spend about hour and a half picking, and we'd come home with about 10 gallons of berries.
10 gallons of berries would keep many kids happy and healthy, too. Many beautiful native crafts and artworks can be seen and bought at the World Eskimo Indian Olympics, from ivory carvings to Eskimo dolls.
Hi there, Judy Green. Kuyak Saglatakam Kenya. Good evening, Heartbeat, Alaska. What we sell is indigenous art from St. Lawrence Island, which is renowned for the beautiful walrus, whalebone, ivory carvings. This hunting scene, kayaker going after a walrus, done by a young man named Paul Rockoff Jr. This cribbage board carving was done by Carl Pillowuk Sr. from Savunga, Alaska. As you can see, the workmanship of Raymond Tooley with the lifelike creations, fossilized ivory.
Those are made from polar bear.
Even fun crafts like the Eskimo yo-yos were found at the games.
Want to try one?
Yeah, go ahead. $5 charge, but 100% off today.
Cool. You serious?
Okay, sure, I can use $5.
This one.
Okay, first time you gotta hold the knot.
Hold the knot right
The
here.
pivot point right here. That you gotta hold that part. That's your pivot point. There you go. Now it'll work.
The number of people attending and participating in the games keeps growing each year, which has led to the games being held in larger facilities. But officials say that is not enough. WEIO officials are looking for assistance in the community from people who can assist in setting up the games, host athletes, transport materials, provide bus or van service for contestants, in-kind contributions, and cash donations. Plus, judges are needed to cover the competitive events. The survival of the games depends on your help. Survival for the Native people of Alaska has been the name of the games for as long as the elders can recollect. In an environment which is severe in every sense of the word, they had to be strong and agile and able to endure past normal limits of strength and pain. In winter or summer, one had to prepare to be tested at any moment, and to fail could easily be the difference between life and death. As long as the games continue to be held, so will the memory of past generations continue to live on in the hearts and actions of the Indigenous people of Alaska.
Tavot lang mituti Atiri samagit sertauli Atani unit ailauli Biyumayait bineak tauli Oblumi big sapting ni Duni si vigitigon Biungin ni vot Isamagi yung Nike Biu Atatavon kailang mitutin Atidi sumagit siyak taulin Ataniunit ay lauklit Iyumayait biniyak taulin